It would mean eating only pre-contact foods like taro, yam, breadfruit, fish, coconuts, and giving up bread, sugar, noodles, and tea. It would mean abandoning schools, exams, and degrees because these systems are colonial imports. It would mean no cars, no electricity, no mobile phones, no Western medicine, no internet. Now, be honest with yourself. How many of us are ready to live that way? How many activists who call for decolonization are willing to surrender their jobs, are willing to let go of their salaries? Marley and warm Pacific greetings, my family and friends. It's me, Seni, once again, and today I want to continue a reflection I began in my last video on why full decolonization in the Pacific is not practical. In that video, I shared how Christianity, education, government systems, and even our daily ways of living have become so deeply woven into who we are as Pacifica people that we cannot simply remove them. They are now part of our cultural DNA. Today I want to go further to talk about something that I believe many of us, but few, are willing to say out loud. And that is the gap between what is spoken about decolonization and how do we actually live our lives. So let's start with the first point, the contradiction. Across the Pacific, many activists, scholars, and researchers speak powerfully about the need to decolonize. Their words are strong, their papers are inspiring, and their conferences echo with calls to strip away colonial influence. But when we look closely, there is a contradiction. Many who advocate full decolonization still eat colonial foods like bread, sugar, rice, thin meat, fast food. They still wear Western style clothing every day. They work in jobs inside universities, government ministries, NGOs, institutions shaped by colonial systems. They drive cars, use mobile phones, fly in airplanes, and rely on Western medicine. We are being serious about rejecting everything colonial. Then consistency demands that we give up these things too. But in practice, no one does, and maybe no one can truly care. The second point, what true decolonization would mean. Let's imagine for a moment what pure decolonization would actually look like. It would mean wearing only indigenous clothing made from bark cloth, pandanus, or tapa. It would mean eating only pre-contact foods like taro, yam, breadfruit, fish, coconuts, and giving up bread, sugar, noodles, and tea. It would mean abandoning schools, exams, and degrees because these systems are colonial imports. It would mean no cars, no electricity, no mobile phones, no Western medicine, no internet. Now, be honest with yourself. How many of us are ready to live that way? How many activists who call for decolonization are willing to surrender their jobs, are willing to let go of their salaries, their clothes, and their phones? This is why I say there is a contradiction, a gap between the ideal of decolonization and the reality of how we live. So what's the real issue here? Now, I'm not saying this to shame anyone. I respect the passion behind decolonization movements, the desire to reclaim our identity, our languages, our tradition. It's a good and noble thing. But we need to be honest. When we say decolonization, do we really mean removing everything colonial? Or are we actually talking about something else, like rebalancing? Because the truth is, colonial systems are here. They are not just around us, they are inside of us. They shape our daily lives, our ways of thinking, even our bodies. That doesn't mean we've lost ourselves as Pacifica peoples, but it does mean that the talk of going back is not realistic. What we really need is clarity. Are we calling for full rejection of everything colonial, or for a thoughtful integration where we keep what gives life, discard what harms us, and reshape the rest to serve us? For me, the path toward is about balance and honesty. Instead of pretending we can erase all colonial influence, we should reclaim our indigenous languages, stories, and rituals where possible, teach our children to know their roots while still succeeding in modern school, honor our cultural protocols and spiritual traditions even as we attend church or university, use technology and modern tools, but not let them erase our values or identity. This is not decolonization as erasure. It is decolonization as integration, creating a hybrid identity that is true to our roots and honest about our present. And most importantly, we must stop pretending. We cannot criticize colonial systems while at the same time relying on them for food, for clothing, jobs, and survival. We need honesty about the contradictions. So, my Pacific family, when we think about colonization, I don't see it as going back to a world that no longer exists. I see it as moving forward, spirit led, balanced, honest, and unafraid to name the contradictions. Yes, colonialism changed us. It lives in our churches, our schools, our governments, even our daily habits. But we can still rise, we can reclaim, reframe, and reshape our Pacifica identity in a way that honors our ancestors, protects our children, and prepares us for the future. Thank you for journeying with me. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Edrienia so we can continue this talanoa together. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you believe full decolonization is possible? Or is the real challenge about finding balance between the old and the new? This is Seni signing off with blessings of peace, love, and light to you all.